The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This one taken from the 7th. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback. Here's James on first down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. A handoff as they run the counter play. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
2nd down following the run. James from the gun, he'll throw. And his throw is incomplete. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. James now operating from the gun. Going underneath, it's Coleman. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And the Giants send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback. They begin the drive on the ground with Allen. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The best play callers in any league know how to break their tendencies. They study themselves, they self-scout, and they realize most of the time you don't call a draw play on 1st and 10. So every so often you insert that play just to make the defense think, even if it's not successful.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Moody. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Let's go! On third down. That's Allen, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it, stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
The Redskins send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Here we go now. Now James on 3rd down. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. On 1st and 10, James. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. To throw is James. To throw on 2nd down. And he will find his man on the outside. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Here's James to throw on 3rd down. And he's got room. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. And the Giants send out their punter now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Now a toss play. Allen. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th.
The Redskins send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 11 catches, 108 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
James looking to throw on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. A good pickup there, a 22. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. James now throwing on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And the play clock's running down. And they give this time to the tailback. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3,
Those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that, because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then, because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was zero space, no gain.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 0-0 our score. We'll head back to FedEx Field after this timeout. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with the football here as we begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Moody. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot. Hot.
They go play action here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
They'll run with Allen. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. And he'll go out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And Hallen Sink was the quarterback in his center on that play. They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the cornerback a really nice target.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Hot.
he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
2nd and goal. Defense digging in again here. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. And he puts it through. That time, a 9-play drive. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. James.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there. Threw it behind him. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now a handoff looking right. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Shifts by him. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Hang on now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
But forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Let's go. 319.
To Allen on the dump off. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Underneath to Allen. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action.
Watch that in. Watch that in. That is right. That is right. Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Sherman. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
319.
He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
A second quarter score from down in Houston. It's the Chargers out to an early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. On 4th down, Henson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? I mean, you're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't.
The New York set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
There's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now James. Gonna throw again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Giants on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. 51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're saying.
And we'll see if that continues. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Fresh set of downs here. They stay on the ground with Allen. And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
So we've reached halftime here in D.C. in our nation's capital with a home team, the Redskins, on top. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
All right, let's roll those moving pictures. Redskins line up at the 41. Carnage is going to complete the pass, and he ends up at the 14-yard line before he stopped on the play. Redskins still on the field. Here will get a pass into the end zone, and this play will go for 6. The lead grows to 4. Redskins on offense midway through the second. Allen's the target on the sideline throw, and he'll end up at their own 45-yard line before being tackled. That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the second half. Brandon.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A second quarter score from down in Houston. It's the Chargers out to an early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. So out now come the Redskins. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll set up to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Sherman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. To throw now on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now a shotgun snap as they look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Here we go.
They'll drop to throw. Bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
And that's a down and distance coach is always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's third and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And able to work his way down to the 16. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. To throw is James. From the gun, he'll throw. And he rifles one incomplete. The Giants on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Looking to throw. James. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. So the chain gang now done for the drive. Ball on the 10, 1st and goal.
Let's go! 3-19!
Here's James. Off play action. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And this one is right through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. A decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Oh, the spin. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. That's going to set them back 5 yards. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll look to throw here. He's got his man complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. They give him a gain of 37. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Hurry up, here we go. 3,
Now Allen. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
11 more on that one, and another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Second and very short here, less than a yard. Carry for Allen. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Let's face it, 2nd and 1, playbook's wide open, isn't it? They can do just about anything. But after that, now you're 3rd and 3. I think the playbook has shrunk because now I think you're almost locked into throwing the football.
The Redskins on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll set up a throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. B.J. Goodson able to run him down for a 15-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot...
Pressure comes, and the Giants block it. Now it's picked up near midfield. Elsewhere, a third-quarter score from NRG Stadium in Houston. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Takes this to the 45. Not much space after that broken tackle. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
James to throw on 2nd down. And this one's incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Back to throw. James. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the Giants send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field, and we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Here we go. 3-19.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. Here's Allen. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Sherman. And down he'll go at the 25. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Redskins on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 7.
Let's go.
Now back to throw. He sets to fire deep. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
Good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Illegal blocking the ball. Offense.
James now looking to throw on 2nd down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and forever. Looking to throw. James drops it off for Coleman. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And the Giants send out their punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Back to throw here. Over the middle, complete. It's Sherman. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Six yards here to go for the offense on 2nd down. He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. He'll drop to throw. His throw incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Redskins send out their punter. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now James throwing to start the drive. Looking left side, and it's complete. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
To throw is James on 1st and 10. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Here's James to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. James on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
James now to throw on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And they'll get him down here at the 23. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. On 3rd down, it's Allen, and he's able to get up here to the 26. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A little juke. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll make it second down.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now. Back to throw. He finds Coleman. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Checking in on Houston. It's in the 4th quarter there. Chargers have just scored, so they extend their lead. If they can hold on to that lead to the end, it would up their win total to 7. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. They're up by 1. They have the football. The key here, just don't do anything silly, right, Charles?
That's exactly right. You know, all the admonitions as they ran out there. Take care of the ball. Secure everything. Be tight in everything that you do. No let up. No crazy plays, and they can go home with a victory.
Let's see here if they can do all those things and hang on to this victory. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the Redskins, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Redskins as we say so long.